Okay. All right. Welcome, everybody. Today we're going to talk about a few Canvas updates that happened over the summer. Quite a few, actually. I can't remember a time where we had this much new pushed out all at one time. And maybe that's just I don't remember this much, but there's quite a few that's different. So it's good to, excuse me, for us to know what these are. There's also a few things that are coming in the next probably couple months, and I'm going to mention those too, so that when they pop up, you'll know what they are. Okay, so let me share my screen and we'll get started. We're going to start with a few changes to how to assign things to students. All right, if at any time you guys can't see what I'm looking at or what I'm trying to show you, or if you guys have any questions, please feel free to interrupt and ask. Okay, so first thing to know is there are, again, a couple of different ways that you can assign things to students, and really more take assignments that you have and set it up for dates and times and things like that. So I'm going to open an assignment here, and this part will look just like it did before. But when I do, hold on, it's thinking. Okay, you will notice there is now an assign to button at the top of your assignments. If you wanted to change just the date or time of an assignment, you can now do that without editing the whole assignment. So if the assignment itself is fine and you don't need to change the instructions or the rubric or anything like that, and you just want to change the date and time, there's a couple ways you can do that, but one is at the very top of the assignment. So it's meant to be a little bit faster. Now, if we click edit and go into the assignment, that will still be just like it was before, where there's an option here at the bottom. Now, what you're going to see temporarily is instead of that box that we almost always see at the bottom of an assignment for the box I basically just showed you, there's a link that says manage due dates and assign to for now. So when we click this, it's popping up, they're calling it a card, pops up a card that you put in all of your information. But there was a lot of pushback on this, and people were like, why do I have one extra click to do this when it was always embedded right onto that edit page? They heard, and they are in the process of fixing it. It is supposed to be fixed by the end of August. So if you got into your assignments and you're like, what's the deal down here with this red link of manage due dates and assign to, it's going away. It will look like this directly on the page, like it always has. So it was a change and they're rolling back that change. Does that make sense? Okay, so that part is going to switch back to normal, but that extra assigned to up here is remaining. So it is still there. They're not changing that part of it. Additionally, if you have a set of assignments or you look at an assignment in this view, now I'm in modules, but it's the same as if you're in assignments. You see your assignment over here. You can also click these three dots and choose assign to and change the date or time there as well. So multiple places to do that, more than we had before. One other place that you can actually change a whole bunch of assignment dates or times at the same time. So remember, this is kind of a one-off, what I just showed you. But if you come to a new semester and the dates didn't transfer over, or they're all past semester's dates, and you want to change a whole bunch at once, maybe you already know this, but there is a quicker way to do that. I'm going to come under assignments, and over here on the right, there is an option that says edit assignment dates. And this is actually not new, but since we're talking about assignment dates, I thought I'd just show you anyway. If you choose edit assignment dates, it will actually bring up all of your assignments and all of the due at, available from, and available till. So you can actually make multiple changes all at once in one spot if you chose to do that. So this, again, usually comes up if it's the beginning of a semester and you either didn't say adjust dates moving forward or it didn't work correctly. Sometimes that happens. This will allow you one spot to change everything all at once, as opposed to opening up individually every single assignment and changing those. All right. Questions on that? Some things were new, some things were the same or slightly modified. Okay, let me jump back over to modules because this is new. And I think that it's under the same vein of assign to, but actually for the first time, we can now assign modules to individuals or to groups. So let me show you after, I don't know why my canvas is so pokey. Maybe I can, okay, there we go. Okay, on the module page, you will now see at the top of the module an assign to. This was not here before. So what this means is you can choose to assign that module to everyone, which is the default. That's the way it's always been. We haven't had any kind of differentiation at all at the module level. But if you choose assign to, you can pick different individuals to assign it to. If you have groups set up, you can set that up, choose that, or sections. So this might be helpful. Mehmet, I thought of you when I saw this because there was one semester where you said, I'd really like to put these two sections together. It's largely the same, but I need this module for undergrads, this module for graduates. If let's say it's a 500 level class, or this may be for early childhood, this is for elementary, this is for middle. If you break up your students that way, or whatever, you can put them into groups and assign modules to different people.
Yeah, also we can use it for incomplete students too. You know, like they don't do some of the assignments, they do some of the assignments. Sometimes
Yes.
they have to, yeah.
Yep. However you want to differentiate or assign, maybe you create a new module that says, here's some extra resources or some supplemental pieces that really these students need. You can do that now. So differentiation at the module level is new, and I think it can be really helpful depending on how you have your class set up or if you want to give certain students certain materials. All right. Questions on it? That's all the new assign to pieces. Any questions on any of that? Okay. The next thing I want to show you is a new feature inside of SpeedGrader that allows us to screen capture. So I'm going to move to this. This is just my test student, so I'm not showing any actual student content. But what we have down here, obviously, where we could give comments to students, we've always had that. We can always give a file attachment if you're uploading a Word document or something to them. We always had the ability to add audio files to the feedback area if we wanted. But now, this might be a giant indication, the giant blue new sitting there right at the bottom there. It has the option for a screen capture. So if I click on this, this is where you could record media. And so this is your video, this is your audio, and you can choose, it's not picking it up because I'm using it for Zoom, but it would automatically see your video that would pop up, or audio if you wanted to record an audio piece of feedback, which is why that blue bar is kind of bouncing because it's hearing me. Down here under screen capture, by default, it says disabled, meaning I don't want to show anything on my screen, but there might be a really good reason to give feedback for students on the screen. So I actually use this, not this particular tool since it just came, but since it just became able to be used, but I use an outside tool to often record myself talking to students with their project in front of me. So I'll say, hey, right here, you forgot to do XYZ. Remember, you have to, whatever the instructions are. It could be a paper they wrote. It could be a project they created. It could be a discussion board posting that you're looking at and want to give them some feedback on that. If I choose enabled, it's going to ask me what tab or window, or if I want to do the entire screen, that I want to record for them. So you want to make sure that you are choosing the thing that their project is on so that that's what it's recording. Once I chose that, and again, it's going to be hard to do on Zoom since it's using my video, but once it does that, it will allow you to record. You'll see that you're recording with your screen in front of you. And then when you're done, you'll say finished. and then it'll dump for you right inside. I'm going to close this. Right inside of this comment area, a video box where they will hit play and they will watch you and listen to you talk about their project. So the idea of this isn't brand new, but the fact that it's included in SpeedGrader is new as of this summer. So if you like the idea of giving some verbal or visual feedback while you talk to them about their project, this is a really good option. I think this is particularly helpful in an online class because they don't hear literally from you on a week-to-week basis unless you're incorporating video into your classes. How feedback is received, I really believe, has a lot to do with tone and how they are hearing you talk about it. So I will sometimes do it in particular on an assignment that has a lot of feedback or maybe some tough feedback so that they can hear my voice and my tone so it doesn't sound so harsh when they didn't do as well on it as I'm guessing they would have liked to. So anyway, that's where it is. Obviously, you're going to need to have audio, video on your screen to do this, but this will then, you might at the very beginning, it might say to grant access to it. So you want to say yes or accept to that, and then it'll pick up everything that you have. So I think that one can be really helpful. Again, for giving feedback, especially if it's a bigger project where your words or even what you're typing may not be enough. Okay, the next thing I want to mention is we now have an integration into Canvas for Lucid charts. Has anybody used Lucid before? Missy, no, okay. Anyone know what it is? Okay, so basically it's either a diagramming or a whiteboarding tool. So like a Miro or something like that. Yeah, Missy, I thought you had. Okay. It's now incorporated into Canvas, and you can actually incorporate it in a couple different ways. So let me show you where that is. Let me hopefully be able to bring up something in a quick manner. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is you can incorporate Lucid onto any page, discussion, assignment, announcement even that you want. When you think about incorporating Lucid, think about it in two ways. The first way is, do you want the students viewing something you created? That's easy to do, and I'm going to show you that in a second. Do you want them collaborating together on something? Or do you want the student to have their own copy of, say, a Lucid chart and fill it out on their own? Okay, so again, is it something you created that you just want to use as a visual? Like here's an org chart, or here's a breakdown of this content in a diagramming type of way. You just want them to view it. Do you want them to collaborate together in one spot where all the students have kind of access to write into it at the same time? Maybe it's a discussion board. Or do you want the students to have a sort of blank copy themselves and fill it out? Here's why this is important. The first two are done the way I'm about to show you. The third way is done using an assignment. It gives the student their own copy and it is placed into SpeedGrader. So the third option is placed into SpeedGrader. The first and second are not. And I will show you what I mean. Let's say it's option 1 or 2. On a page, on a discussion board, you know, this box up here looks exactly the same, whether you're on a page or an announcement or on a discussion board. The icon you're looking for is right here next to Kaltura. It kind of looks like a, I don't know, like a fancy L, a black L. I'm going to give you guys just a second. If you have Canvas next to you, feel free, open it up. And so you can see it at the same time I do. I'll wait just a second. See if I can get this frog out of my throat.
Shannon, where was it that you found the Lucid? I'm sorry, I missed it.
That's okay. I'm on a page. And I created like a new page. So not an assignment, but just a page. Any page in Canvas that you have would work.
Okay.
Everybody find it okay? I can give you another second. Missy, did you find it? No? Okay.
Well, I found what you're talking about, that little icon, but I guess what I was saying, okay,
The
go ahead.
options. Yeah. I'm getting there. Yes. If you can find the icon, we're good so far.
Okay, I see.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So here is where we can click and choose to embed a Lucid document. Now, when we do that, it's going to pop up and, oh, mine is, of course, giving an error. Did you guys get an error? I think it's probably just me. Did you get an error, really?
I did, but when you go to the open page, like valid page, maybe this page is expired, it's not open right now. If you
Yeah,
go to,
yeah, I just did this like 10 minutes ago. Let me go to another page and just see if it's any different. I don't know if it's going to be, but let me look. Don't anybody let me actually publish this. This is live. I don't want to do that to students. All right, let's see.
Mine worked.
Okay, good. It could be, yeah, there we go. I was in an old course too, and maybe that is it. It wasn't up to date. Deb, did you get it? Yeah, you did? Okay, good. Okay, and it might have first asked you when you got here if something about creating an account for you. What it's doing that first time, and we may not be as far enough for you guys to see this yet. It'll create you a Lucid account using your NKU username because it's embedded into Canvas. So because we have a connection between Canvas and Lucid, it will automatically, once we get far enough where it creates that account for you, it will then allow you to move on, and it's all kind of embedded into your NKU username. So once this comes up, we have an option here in the upper left-hand corner where we can choose new. Mehmet, did you have a question? I'm sorry. You're
oh
good?
no,
Okay.
I'm just signing up right now.
Okay. When we click new, we've got two choices here. We've got Lucid Chart and we've got Lucid Spark. So you can see really briefly underneath them what the differences are. The first is diagramming, and you can see, I'm going to have us choose that in a second here. That is going to be like your typical diagramming that'll have like a concept map or an org chart, something like that. And there's some templates we can pick. The whiteboarding is just what it sounds like. It's more of a whiteboarding look to it and a whiteboard look to it. And you can play around with these as much as you want and find the right thing for your students. They both have options for blank as well. But if we chose to create from a template, I'm going to choose Lucid Chart for this. You can see we've got all sorts of templates. There are some that are under popular, but there's also on the left side there, if you want to look under brainstorming or projects and strategy, research, and so on. All sorts of different choices that might be what you're looking for whatever content you are trying to get out to students. So if you're able to practice in whatever it is that you are playing around with, go ahead and pick one of those and then choose to create. When you do that, it should ask you, once you get past that piece, what access settings do you want students to have? Now, when you're looking at your access settings, you've got the ability to allow students to edit, full access to it. get in there, make changes to it, add boxes, whatever. They can comment only, or they can just view. So again, when you create this, maybe you just want it as a jumping off point where you are creating the diagram and you just want them to look at it and say it's a discussion board. You want them to make a discussion comments about it in the board. So there could be a use case where you just want them to take a look at this and you don't want them to add or collaborate with it. Depends on what you're using it for. Edit would be, yes, I want the class together to create this document and continue to add to it together. All right, if you guys hit insert, I'll go ahead and do that as well. It should pop up on whatever page you chose. So you can see your chart and you can see it's kind of like embedded onto the page. And for a second there, for me, it just said loading. Is everybody able to see it on their page? Yeah, everybody's okay? Okay, I'm going to actually hit cancel on mine because I do not want students to see this since it's just me playing around and this is a live course. But if you guys want to continue to play with it, go ahead and hit save or publish or whatever you want to do to it. So that is option number one on how you can set up Lucid on a page, discussion board, whatever. All right, the second way is if you do want this to be an assignment where students get their own copy of it and they are able to work independently on it and it be put back into SpeedGrader, we will set it up as an assignment. So let me try to do that and see if I am more successful there. So go ahead and open a new assignment. All right, so this is going to look obviously like it always does for us for a new assignment. You can give it a name if you want, Lucid example or Lucid test or something. And then down here where it says submission type, we're going to see in the list Lucid. Now, it's usually under external tool when we use these external tools. For whatever reason, I'm not sure if it was intentional for NKU or not. It's just in this main list. So that's where it is. Again, the idea here is we want students to each have their own copy and we want their submitted work to be placed inside a SpeedGrader for us. Choose Lucid. I have found it to be easier to do the load this tool in a new window. So it can be launched. And then we can go ahead and hit save. Oh, sorry, before you do that, sorry. Can you guys click on Lucid there to set up how you want it to be set up? I'm still getting that page error, but hopefully you guys aren't. I should really switch my course.
Yeah, I can set up.
Okay, so it should, at that point, it should look like what we just did, where you were able to choose whiteboarding or diagramming, whatever it is you want them to do. And so all of those pieces should look very similar. Again, the only difference here is that they are working independently on this. So to the best of my knowledge, when they are collaborating together, if you did the first option, I do not believe that goes to SpeedGrader. So you would have to give a points based on what you're seeing in the chart itself, as opposed to going to SpeedGrader to see individual pieces of that. So it works a little bit differently, but I think they both probably have their place. All right. I know you'll have to play around a little bit with that and maybe get a little bit more in depth there, but I also wanted to give you, I'm going to put it in the chat here. This is a really good help document that kind of will walk you through those processes if you need to get in more detail, or if you want to go more step by step or have questions about it. So this shows you it's all about the integration of Lucid into Canvas. So hopefully this will help for a bit more further learning and playing around with it. All right, everybody good with that, or at least in theory? Go ahead, Jay.
So when you do it, not the assignment, but you want it to be a collaborative tool. So if I wanted to do concept mapping in class, but they do it within their own groups, like whiteboard, you know?
Yep.
Can they do this in their breakout? But if I create it, would they be able to do it? Or do I have to do it in the assignment? And then if they do it where I create, you know, we do it not in the assignments. With the edit feature, can they download and continue to revise and update?
So I don't know about the download because I believe this is connected to them being signed into Canvas because it's embedded into Canvas. So if they downloaded it and it was just sort of a document or something on their computer and they opened it, I think they'd probably need to go to the Lucid website to log in and then be able to continue to work on it. I haven't tried that, but we could test it and practice it if you want. In that scenario, what I would probably do is post it to a page. You could even put it in an assignment if you put it at the top. You know what I mean? Like not embedded into an external tool, but just in the instructions area, like we did on a page.
Oh,
You could
gotcha.
put it up there. And so there'd still be a spot inside the grade area for you to give points. It's just not a individual document speed grader thing. You know what I mean? So
Gotcha.
if you did it as an assignment, like even where we are right now, if you just chose to put the Lucid up here and kind of just said like, no submission, I'm just going to give points,
Right,
they would all work on it within this assignment in their groups, in their breakout groups. They'd all see it.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Good
I'm
question.
going to play around. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, play around, and
I
I can
gotta
help
go.
test it with you if you want. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah, I gotta go. Sorry, I got another Zoom.
That's okay. No problem. All right, I'll try to wrap this up quick. I wanted to just mention a couple things you guys are probably seeing that was actually rolled out a little bit earlier than summer, but maybe you didn't see it. We have this, all these little icons in Canvas that look like little people standing, and they have different colors associated with it. These are our accessibility. This is our new accessibility tool called Panorama. And what you'll see visually is you can see my page is accessible, but some of my items are not. So if you're seeing these in Canvas, you'll know right away if something isn't accessible. So what do you do if it's not? So let's say for my syllabus here, I see that I've got a red guy, which is not good. So I'm going to click on it. Panorama does a good job of helping you fix things right in Canvas itself. So if I click this accessibility report, that's pretty bad. 29% is not good. So if I click on this, it's going to show me exactly what's wrong. I've got 7 minor things, 5 major things, no severe, but a total of 12 issues. So if I look here at all of my issues, I can see that in my syllabus, one thing that I did not do is I did not have alternative description for this logo. So what that means is that a screen reader, as it read through that document, would not know how to read it to the student because I did not give up something called alternative text. So, well, that's a bummer. I didn't do that, but how can I fix it? I'm going to click over here where it says fix issue. And it's actually going to pop up a box where I can say NKU College of Ed logo. And I choose add change. And then down here, I choose apply changes, and it's going to update my document, and that's going to no longer be an issue. Now I have 11 more things that I haven't fixed, but at least that one issue will be fixed after it's done updating for me. And I can work through, oh, look, it's very excited about my changes. So now I have another one where I have the hyperlink text is not descriptive. And if you look, if I scroll down a little bit, I'll see the colors matching up and it'll highlight exactly where it is for me. Now, to be honest, I actually intentionally did that because I did it as a link and I also wanted to list out the URL just in case they needed to copy and paste it out of the document. So that one is minor and I would probably skip that one because I did it for a reason. But if I go back down to this next major one, I have another problem with an image that says this does not have an alternative description. So I'm going to go ahead and choose to fix it. And I'm going to say NKU logo here. and add the changes. So it's actually changing my document to make it more accessible. So that you don't have to go back and make all those changes to the original, I'd suggest downloading this document once you have it fixed here and hold on to it and use it the next time. So anything in Canvas where you're seeing those those stick people colors, you can click on it and get more information about what it is that's not accessible and start chipping away at those so that you're going to have more accessible materials for your students. So I want you to know what it is. It's kind of one of those things I do is I get a few minutes and I can go in and change them because you'll probably find a lot of them. One thing here, I am getting dinged a lot on YouTube videos that are unlisted. And I intentionally unlist my videos on YouTube because it's about assignments or things that the public isn't going to care about. So there may be things that you are intentionally doing for good reason. And if you're not sure if it's, a good idea or you want some help with that accessibility, let me know. But there are things that it's picked up on that I am not probably going to change because I don't want some of those videos to be public. But it's pretty thorough about what it's giving you feedback on. Okay, that all makes sense? You'll see it all throughout your course. And you'll see a panorama option on the left where you could get a full course report if you wanted to. Okay, I want to point out this to you briefly, just because I think it might be helpful. I've got to get into the right course here. There is a change to discussion board and more that are coming. So one of the things that's currently in discussion board is something called revision history. And if a student has edited their discussion reply, you will be able to see a history of how and what was changed in it. So you know how in Google Doc, you can go to the revision history and you can see if students are working together on something. This student added this one did this, and you can see kind of timestamps on when things were changed. Same thing here. This is maybe helpful so that you can see, let me show you what it looks like. I've got to get into the replies here. And if they didn't make an edit, you won't see anything in there. So do you see how down here I have view history? You can see that things were changed and what was changed at what time. So why is this helpful? So you know how we have in discussion board where sometimes a student has to post something before they're able to see the rest of the replies from other students. There's that option in discussion board where you can say, post your initial reply before seeing all the other student, what they had to say about it. You want them to think about things before taking in what all the other students said. So there's something called ghost replies, meaning that a student sort of put something in so that they could see all the rest of the replies, and then they go back and edit it. And this lets you see that there were changes made and when they were made. So it's just kind of a check on if a student made changes. So it's there now. You'll see it if they do make those revisions. A couple things that are coming to discussion board that aren't here just yet. One is it's an AI summary that will be coming where it will actually give you a summary of all the things that the student said on that particular thread up at the top. I hear it's going to be sometime this semester, but I don't know exactly when. So if you see something pop up at the top of your discussion board that looks like a summary, it's AI doing it for you. Take it for what it is. Might be helpful to give you a big picture of what the student said as a whole, but it's coming. Another thing that's coming that I think is going to be really helpful for discussion board is they're calling it checkpoints. And checkpoints are going to be, so some of us run classes where you want them to first post on, say, Wednesday, and then reply to other students by, say, Sunday. So really, the discussion board has sort of two due dates. One is the initial post and the other is a reply. The discussion board is going to allow two separate assignment due dates within the same discussion board. So your first checkpoint might be your initial post, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever, and the second date will be there for when you want replies to be done by. You don't have to use that, but it'll be an option so that you know students can see more visually, oh, okay, my first post is done, needs to be done by this date, and then I have this much longer to reply to other students. So they're calling it checkpoints. Okay, last couple of things that are coming sometime very soon, I think this semester. Rubrics are going to have a redesign. So if you get in and you create a new rubric, it's going to look a little bit different and have some different options associated with it. So it's coming, but not tested yet, at least here. We're going to have something called a course search, where let's say, you have an assignment that you've created in this course, but you can't find it, or it's unpublished, so you're not seeing it. If you're looking for a specific page or a specific assignment, you can search your whole course under whatever search name you're looking for, and it'll pop up and show you all the places that came up. So that's coming. And lastly, I think everybody probably knows the term Khan Academy. So K-12 uses it a lot as sort of a tutoring or a tutorial type of tool. Khan Academy has created a set of tools called Khanmigo. Khanmigo are teacher tools that allow you and help you. They're AI tools that help you to create a lesson plan or key points for students or a rubric. They have partnered with Canvas to embed that set of tools into Canvas, free for all teachers to use. So how it's going to pop up, my guess is we're going to see it off to the left over here, and it's going to say Khanmigo, and you're going to be able to go in there and create rubrics, lesson plans, quiz questions, whatever, on your own. I don't know exactly when it's coming. I just know it's coming. If it comes and we're getting a lot of questions, I'll do another training on how to actually use those tools. But if it pops up, I want you to know that it popped up and what it is, so that you're not like, what is this crazy thing that just came through? So that's the other tool that I know is coming. I don't know exactly on the timing of it, but I've played around with it, and I think it could be really helpful for us as educators, certainly if it's free. And I think Khan Academy does a good job of always keeping education at the forefront. And I think they'll do a good job with these tools for educators, my opinion. Okay, I am going to stop sharing for a second and see if there's any questions that anybody has on anything that I went through. Okay, let me give you guys one more thing, actually two more things. This is a video of pretty much, it's about 45 minutes. Don't feel like you have to watch it, but it is an overview from Canvas. Instructure actually is the name of the company, that goes through pretty much what I did on what's coming new in Canvas. So if you have a colleague that couldn't be here, I will have a recording of this too. But if they want to look and see, hey, what's going on with Canvas, that's a good place to send them. Okay, lastly, let me upload one file. Hopefully this comes through, okay? This is a PDF of the 2024 Canvas updates. And so Instructure passed this out too. It has a little more information about it. Just a quick what is new kind of thing. So if this is helpful to you, or you want to pass this on, feel free to. It's just another way to look at all of the new features that we have this summer. All right, you guys sure? No questions? Okay, well, I'm right here. So if you guys have any, or you want to follow up or dig in or have me help you test one of these out, just let me know, and I'm happy to do that.
I just went through the website for Lucid, and it says like we can grade the assignments on SpeedGrader.
Yeah, the assignments, if it is set up as an assignment and you use that external tool, that one is dumped into SpeedGrader, and that one will have an extra copy where you'll see it right inside of SpeedGrader, just like we do Word documents or anything else, and you will be able to grade it just like that. So if you set it up as a Lucid assignment, the other option was if you have it just sort of embedded into the top instructions of the assignment or discussion board, that while you could grade it, it doesn't get dumped into SpeedGrader unless you use that external tool part. But yes, absolutely. If you want to use SpeedGrader, do the external tool part. Yes.
So I don't think I can use it for this session, but for the next session, are there like examples on the student side as well? Because some of them are not like very used to taking online classes, and this looks a little bit more complicated than like simply writing discussion boards and stuff. So are there examples that you could provide for us?
So I can look for those. This is so new embedded into Canvas that I don't have any that hey, we use this in Canvas, and I think literally like July it came out. But Lucid in general, I will look around and see if I can find a sort of how-to for students to use it. I'm sure, because Lucid is Lucid. It's just dumped into Canvas. So I'll see if I can find a good short how-to for students to use, and I will send it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you guys all for taking some time to hang out and learn more about Canvas. Just remember, I'm here if you have any questions, and I am happy to help. All right, you guys, have a good Monday.
Thanks so much.
Sure,
Very helpful.
of course.